All right, everyone, welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today is Tuesday, September 14th, 2021. So market's rolling over a little bit here. Again, just like yesterday, let's flip over to the intraday. And so yeah, market's taking a bit of a hit here again. And we're noticing this pattern here. Let's just zoom out a bit. So if you look pretty much, every day for the last couple of weeks, they've kind of gapped us up and then we faded most of these days here. And, that just signals distribution. Now, I mean, it can happen a couple of times and not be anything, but it's happened multiple times over the last couple of weeks. And, we're coming into a month where it's historically, a bad month for the market. And there's just a lot of headwinds going on, the inflation number. So we had a CPI miss, actually. It was 0.3 or versus 0.4. And the market kind of gapped up. And then it looks like Wall Street finally kind of just bought into that, or excuse me, stopped buying into that and really just called the bluff here as they faded this roll. But again, it's OPEX week and we can't really make too much out of it. I can't stress that enough. How many times do we sell into OPEX week? Oh, literally every time this year. So, wouldn't it be surprising to see maybe a gap down tomorrow into the 50 moving average? And maybe they blast it back up by the end of the week. That is typical OPEX action, especially for a quad witch. Now, you guys know I'm looking for a move in volatility soon. I'm looking for, I can't wait to short the market, but we got to wait till the signals are there. Everybody's like getting really FOMO-ish on the bear side, and you can't, like, this market will rip your head off if you jump the gun. There's nothing to say that we can't go up to 460. I mean, this is, you have this rising wedge here. We could easily get up to 460. If they turn this around, there's nothing to say it can't go higher. And really, until the market gives us those sell signals, we want to be, neutral to cautious right now. Doesn't mean we can't. Accumulate a position in volatility if that's something you want to do, but you don't go all in on the sell side until we get these signals that the market has topped out. Right now, the put-call ratio is above 0.65. Last I checked, it was 0.66. If we flip over to the VIX, VIX is basically doing nothing. I mean, it's flattish to positive today. And let me tell you, if they wanted this market lower, it would not have taken 2 whole days. It would have gapped down yesterday, and the VIX would already be into the 30s right now. That's just the nature of it. But this is probably just OPEX games. That doesn't mean that we can't sell off next week. The market can't get a bounce, so we can put in the top next week. But right now, there's just too much. There's just too much going on. And by the way, I keep harping on it, but you guys got to pay attention to the semiconductors. I say it almost every single day, and I don't think anybody listens to me, but semiconductors are in an uptrend. There's nothing wrong with this chart. The structure's bullish. The semis were leading the market earlier, and that's why, I mean, you see the higher lows here. Just like yesterday, we had the higher lows. And if you notice, the QQQ here had an equal low. That's where it bottomed out here until we rolled over. IWM with a lower low, but really the semiconductors will tell you what's going on so many times. Spiders bounce here into the final 10 minutes. We have about a minute left before the close. But I do believe this market does hold up, at least for this week. And until we see, so we have, the transports, which are our leading indicator, are weak. And they've been weak, and we've been noting that. I've been talking about it for a while. We have financials that are finally starting to get weak here. JP Morgan having a pretty ugly day, although it is getting a bit of a bid into the close. I've been talking about Wells Fargo here. This one may be a short candidate. That's a weak inside bar there. I like that pattern. He went up to this necktie. So there's some weakness in financials. There's weakness in the Russell. There's weakness in the transports. But we got to get the semiconductors on board before I get really too bearish on this market. And there's a lot of bears out there. Like my Twitter feed is, oh, we're going to this, we're going to sell. This is, it's confirmed top. The VIX is not confirming anything. The VIX hasn't even made a new low. This market just feels really overly bearish. And I just don't think we're quite there yet. But, just some more OPEX games. Market's about to close, by the way, but more OPEX games. Check this out. So Altria yesterday nice bullish pattern here. All of a sudden started selling off yesterday, and a big dump out today on news related to the FDA. It had to do with some e-cigarette ban, I think it was. It's not really important. The fact is that somebody knew something and they whacked the stock down after it had run up into OpEx week. So it had a nice run and then it got smashed down. You know, this type of thing is typical. Crocs as well. Their executives talked about, you know, they're going to have 26 billion in revenue. They're going to do all these buybacks, and I mean, they're saying this now at the very end of. I mean, look at the run it's been on, and you know, it's had a nice pop here, but there's been a lot of selling since then. So you got to wonder what funds have been taking profits on this since that announcement and been using it. So just to give you an idea, this is the type of games that gets played during OpEx week. It happens every month, and it's even worse during Quad Witch. So, you know, take everything with a grain of salt here. So in other news, uranium coming back in a little bit. So looking at Camco here, got all the way up to 26.57 yesterday, and then now closing at 24.32 today. Doesn't mean it's topped out, but that is a pretty big reversal there. Same thing on the URA. Nice little kind of a evening star kind of gap there, and a reversal today, although finished off the lows, but some dumping was done there. And Nat Gas also just continues to be a powerhouse, but you know, this may be some type of a swing short at some point, but it's got to get extended enough. It's got to get to a level I like. But this thing is, you know, and I like Nat Gas, but it's getting really extended and looking really toppy here, especially on the monthly time frame. It is starting to go parabolic, and it's well through resistance now. So it's to the point of FOMO. So yeah, just be aware of that. Precious metals. Let's talk about gold really quick. Gold acted really well today. So again, this is telling you, with the bond yields were down. So this is telling you that you know, we had that crappy CPI print, and gold acting well. So again, like Wall Street kind of calling the bluff here of the government. Silver, not as good of a move, but it did put in a secondary tail candle. So we'll just have to watch this one for pattern. But what I do like, at least right now, is the miners, GDX here, SILJ showing a little bit of outperformance here to the spot metal. So that is a good signal in the near term for the metals. And crude also kind of pausing a little bit today. No confirmation on this breakout from yesterday. So just a pause here, and you know, we'll just have to see what happens. If it can confirm it tomorrow, then, you know, it might be a confirmed breakout. But until then, just kind of hanging there. Now, what's interesting to me is XLE. So XLE had a nice day yesterday, which you could say helped show conviction in the crude breakout from yesterday. But look at this engulfing reversal today. That's an engulfing candle on the XLE. Same thing with the XOP. That's an ugly candle there. And OIH, basically the same thing, not as bearish, but definitely a reversal bar as well. So something to keep an eye on there. With those lower yields are going to put pressure on these names. And I've been talking about another move lower in yields. We might be able, this might be the start of it here. So if we get that flush down, be ready. For you guys that are patrons, we'll be looking at a TBT pretty soon if we can get to our levels. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys take care. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you tomorrow.